Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. So the Rabbi for all that you have done for us. For your good and your mercy endures forever and ever. Please forgive me. Please forgive us for our sins, our transgressions, and our iniquity. Please forgive us for coming up short on our righteousness. I ask that you may give us the strength to do what is right, put your word in our inward parts, and also teach us wisdom. I ask as we go into this meeting that you may give us insight, give us direction, order our steps, so that we may please you. I ask that you may please put a guard over our mouth so we will not sin against you. And also ask you put a guard over our mind so that we will not sin against you. I ask that we will not be defiled by this world, but I ask that we can be transformed by the renewal of our minds. I ask that you may continue to forgive us for the things we have done against you. Only against you have we sinned. Please prepare our hearts for the upcoming feast, the Moedim, and ask that it may be well with us. I ask that you may bless the occupant on this call and those who are not on this call. Bless us for the things that we have need of. Lead us to righteousness and keep us far from evil. I ask that you may bless us with the strength to do what is right, not only in the midst of the people, but also in the secret of our home. I ask that you may hear this prayer, this tefillah, if it be in your will, that your will be done. Bless you are Yahweh. Blessed is your name, Yahweh. And blessed is he who comes in the name of Yahweh in truth. Amen, amen, so.
Hallelujah. Amen wa amen. All right. Akim Gabarim, mighty men of the Most High. This is the third quarter, the end of the third quarter, all officers meeting. And as you can see, we got quite a few that are missing, which seems to be the trend lately. Shashamar and Uziel, this is not really directed towards y'all. Y'all are coming into this particular organization. So it's not for you. And I'm gonna go ahead and just go in. Since it's recorded, even those that are not here right now, we'll direct them to go back and watch the video. And honestly, I don't have anything new. I have nothing new this quarter. We're still working on things from the very first quarter that are not complete yet. I thought about it, I prayed about it, considering that we're about to go into Chag Sukkot, and I didn't want to plant any seeds of contention, but it's time. It's time. This is the end of the third quarter, about to go into the last quarter of the year, and we're still seeing the same lack of accomplishments. So I'm just going to go in. It's being recorded. And like I said, Uziel and Shashamar, it's not really directed towards y'all. But I'm glad you're here. I think I'm going to let Maurice Mock talk about the reorganization, but we're going to reorganize the offices. And when I get through with this laundry list, hopefully y'all understand why. And honestly, I hope y'all receive this in brotherly love. If we're going to be effective and functional, it has to be highlighted. All right. So I'm just going to go in. As an organization, True Light by Yah officers and captains, we get a grade D. In my opinion, we get a grade D, and that's generous. That's generous. As an effective and efficient organization, we get a grade F. We are dysfunctional as an organization. We are dysfunctional as an organization. We have a supply office, a logistics office, and an admin office, and it's dysfunctional. It's as nothing is being taken care of in those offices. So the deficiencies are in supply. We got no catalog inventory of supply still. We've been working on this now for more than a year, trying to get the supply locker catalog, what we have in supply, what we need for supply, and we have nothing. We still have nothing. We have nothing written down, nothing that we can go back on. And remember, I said that this is record keeping, because once we're gone, these records need to be left for those that are going to take the place, take and fill your shoes, right? So they don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. We have records of what's going on in our organization. And when I say our organization, I'm talking about True Light Ba'ath Yah. True Light Ba'ath Yah. We still have no points of contact for the supply locker. So if Morey Samak, or Most High forbid, Morey Samak is incapacitated, is unable for us to get in touch with for whatever reason, who knows the phone number? Who knows the location? Who knows the combination of the locks? Who knows what locker number is ours? We got none of that. We got none of it. One or two people know where it is. One or two people know how to get into it, and none of us really know what's exactly in there. And then no initiative to make the supply office effective or efficient. No, there's no initiative taken by the supply office to make it more effective and more efficient. We've been working on this for more than a year. And this is the third quarter of the year, getting ready to go into the last quarter, and we're still looking for these items. We're still looking for these items. So Adon Kanakya, ineffective. Adon Yahosef, ineffective. Adon Abadal, ineffective in the supply office. None of those duties and responsibilities that were laid out, and those are just initial duties and responsibilities. Once that office starts to function, then you have to come up, you see what needs to be fixed, what needs to be made better, and you take the initiative and do it. None of that is happening. None of that is happening. All right? So overall, the supply is ineffective and dysfunctional. Logistics, no written points of contact, list of points of contacts for the frequently used venues. No written list of points of contact for rental vehicles. No written safety briefs, classes. No weapons handling classes. No first aid classes. Those are all things that were supposed to have been accomplished by the logistics office in where the security falls into. Overall, logistics, ineffective, dysfunctional. No initiative to make the logistics office effective or efficient. Admin, we don't have the photo gallery on the website fixed. It's still dysfunctional on the website. The comms between Morey and the chief second, ineffective. The chain of command is unclear. Marlon is ineffective in the admin office. We all have personal lives. I get it. I understand that. We all have personal lives that we have to deal with. I understand that totally. But if we can't dedicate about 3 hours a week, 3 hours a week to do the duties of our office, then this is probably not the office for you. This is probably not the office for you. Which is no shame on you. I mean, if you are that busy to where you can't dedicate time to take care of the duties and responsibilities of your office, I understand that. Just let us know. Let us know that, hey, look, I can't do, I got too many things on my plate that I got to take care of, and I can't execute the duties of my office. No shame on that. No shame on that. And then we just pick up the slack, which we've been doing anyway. We've been doing anyway. It has to be done, even if you're not doing it. It has to be done. If that's truly the situation, no shame on you. But if you'd rather watch a game, a couple of hours watching a game, basketball game, football game, whatever you're into, or you'd rather do anything that you like doing, instead of setting aside an hour here, an hour there. Like I said, 3 hours a week is very effective. You could get a lot accomplished 3 hours a week. But if you prefer to do those other things instead of set time aside, then shame on you. But if you are truly that busy, to where you can't dedicate that time to your office, I understand that. No shame in that. Just let us know. And then we can either adjust, including the duties and responsibilities of the other offices. That's what we're here for. We support each other. But we got to know what's going on. There's got to be communication. You know, we meet once a quarter. Right? That's 3 months. That's 3 months between the times we meet for you to communicate if need be and to accomplish those duties and responsibilities, which is not really that many. It's really not that many. And we got none of them accomplished. We still accomplished the task. The few of us that are dedicated to making sure that we accomplish the task that we set out for. I understand that if we're busy, I understand that. And we've already offered, hey, if you're too busy, I know you volunteered, and things may have changed from the time you volunteered up until now. If you need to back out, we've already opened the door. Let us know. So far, everybody has said, nope, I'm still in, I'm still dedicated. Well, we still expect you to do those things that you said you would do in your office. If you're still dedicated, if you're still saying you're in, we expect you to do what you're supposed to do. And that hasn't been happening. Maurice Samak is still taking up duties that we said we were going to alleviate from him. He's still doing those duties that we could be doing. And he is doing them. And the last thing I'm going to go into is if progress is not made by next quarter, which will be the last quarter of the year, then some of y'all will be fired. Some of y'all are going to be relieved of your duty. That's just the way it has to be. Some of y'all are going to be relieved of your duties, and we'll go back to just the few that are dedicated to try and get all this stuff accomplished. That's what we've been doing lately anyway. Until we get some more men in the Knesset that will dedicate at least 3 hours a week to accomplishing the duties and the responsibilities of the office that they volunteer to go into. If there's no progress made by next quarter, which will be the end of the quarter, which will be the end of the year, if there's no progress made, some of y'all are going to be fired. And actions speak louder than words. You might not say it with your mouth, but if you're not doing those responsibilities and letting us know that you have other priorities, which we understand, then you're going to be let go. That's just the way it has to be. And then we'll cover your office until we can put a man in there that can do the job, that wants to do the job and dedicated to do the job. Each office and captain has a written copy of the initial duties and responsibilities of that office, which, like I said, is just the initial. That's just to get us rolling down the road. But as we go down the road, you need to take initiative and say, well, this needs to be done better, or we need to add this to the mix, or we need to take this out of the mix. It's hindering. That's initiative. But that comes from your office. You shouldn't wait for Maurice Samak or myself to say, well, you need to do this and you need to do that better. Sometimes we'll say, hey, look, this needs to be added to your plate. This needs to be added to your plate. But on the whole, you should take the initiative and make sure your office is functioning at best efficiency as possible. And really, it doesn't take that much. It really doesn't take that much. There's notes that Sar Yohanan records all of these meetings, and he makes them available in our group, in our Telegram group. You can go back to that and see the discussion points that we had previous meetings, and then make your adjustments from there. That's how we function efficiently and effectively. And then I suggest you go back and review it all. Review all those notes from first quarter to now. Review all those notes that's recorded. He makes a YouTube video. I mean, it's only available to us on YouTube. Everybody out in the world can't see it on YouTube. He has to give you permission. But if it's in the group, you have permission to see it. I suggest you go back and review all of those and then start making your goals and prioritize so that you can start to accomplish these duties and responsibilities of your office. And I'm just going to remind you, y'all, we are grateful. All praise to the Most High that y'all volunteered to take up these duties, but you have to do these duties. We are relying on you to do these duties, not as a hobby, but as a duty. You volunteered. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We are so appreciative that you volunteered to take up this task, but you have to do it. You have to do it. That's all I have. I'm done. I turn it back over to you, sir.
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Torah Zaken, Torah Zaken. For before I turn it over to Morris Shamak, since we talking about duties, we need some able bodies that's out there right now in Lynn, to get with Don Abadal and Elder Ephraim tomorrow. So we got some wood that need to be loaded up in a trailer. I got to reach out to Adar Abadal to see, because I know he's leading that off. I know he's supposed to get with you, Yusuf and Kanakia, to help the elder load up the trailer. It's kind of part of supply. So this listen out for Abadal should be reaching out to you all to try to set something up tomorrow. To load up that wood, and the ones that are in town, we for Sukkot on that Rishon, we captains and officers that's gonna be in town, and some that's already in town, we need to be on the site at 8 o'clock, no later than 0800. We are the setup crew. We are the meeting crew. We had our security that'll be getting everything set up. So on Rishon, 0800 and which is 8 o'clock a.m. in the morning. And I'm a year from that, and I'm gonna turn it over to Morris Shamak.
Yeah, y'all give me about 3 minutes.
Hey.
I want to say one more thing before while Maurice Mock is getting ready. This is our meeting. This is our meeting. So if y'all got concerns, questions, things you might not be clear on, if you want some suggestions and some advice, this is where we air it out at. This is only us. Nobody else is going to see this. This is us. This is us. This is where we sharpen each other's iron. This is where we get honed as a unit, as an organization. I yield. Don Shlomo, I'm gonna hold off. That was just a reminder until Morey Samat has presented what he needs to present.
Ping's okay. All right.
All right, shalom, shalom, Akim. I want to start off first of all by giving all praise and honesty to the Most High, and I would like to say Toda Yah for you, Zakim, for you with these meetings and trying to get everything together, and I definitely am grateful for it. So Akim, I'm gonna start off by first taking the blame for
Your mic went mute, Morey.
Okay. My phone locked me out some kind of way. I'm out of the meeting. All right, give me a second.
We can hear you now. We can hear you
Okay,
now.
hold on. Yeah, I was trying to unlock my phone because it kind of it muted and it locked me out of the screen. Yeah, so I'm going to start off because one thing I learned from Zakane Yaquab, he was teaching on, well, when he did a teaching on leadership, and that's something that we probably need to go over that class again. But I want to take the heat for what's how things are going because it's my fault first because it all falls back on me. But just because I'm doing that don't mean the heat is totally off of you. All right. So Zakane Yaquab in his lesson, he said, first of all, men need clarity. So if a person is clear on what their duties are, then it makes things run smoother. Things run smoother. But if a person is in the dark, they don't know, what I'm saying, what's going on. They don't have a purpose. They don't know their purpose. Things won't run smoothly. And then also, if there's duties given and we give duties to someone, and once things are explained, either we didn't properly train someone, or we did properly train someone, and then they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and then we're not correcting it, which would always fall back on me. And so it always falls on the person that upranks you. So if there's a captain that's over an officer, yeah, officer is still the officer's fault, but it's the captain's fault. But ultimately, it comes back to being my fault, Zakane Yaquab's fault, then my fault, and it falls back to my fault. And so just one thing that I've been learning is I just thought that automatically that sometimes people think the same way, but I've been maturing over the years, finding out that there's certain things that you think that people know, or you think that they know how order runs and operates, and sometimes we just don't. You know what I'm saying? But because I come up a certain way, certain men that's in the military or certain lifestyles, they have certain things that they just know how chain of command and duties and things like that work, and they know some don't. So we have to go through explaining. So if anybody's unclear on what their office is, their duty is, or if you don't feel like you volunteered and you don't want to be in the office that you're in, like he said, it's we won't look at you any type way. You know what I'm saying? Just say that. Like I don't want to be an officer. I just rather be just a member. I just rather just be a member, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because the school of thought that I come from, there was the men that wanted to be in service to the Most High, and then there were just men that came. And it's no love lost. It's going to be the same thing, but just like in the world, a civilian and a soldier is different. A soldier or a military man is held at a higher regard than just a civilian. There's things that's expected from a soldier, a certain behavior, certain you represent this Marine, the Army, the Air Force, whatever branch of service they're with, they represent. If a person is wearing company uniform, they represent that company. So therefore, their behavior, if you're part of a company in a leadership position at a company, you represent that company. Therefore, you're held at a higher regard than the person that doesn't work at a company. So what I'm saying is, as servants of the Most High, the love will be the same, but the way we talk to soldiers versus visitors, or a brother that's in the Knesset, that's just a brother, we talk with him as a civilian with all types of leniency and certain things. But going forward, as learned men, we have to learn just as the military, because the military pretty much get their protocols, a lot of them from the text. You see what I'm saying? So as Zakane was saying, sometimes that's the harsh thing, but that's one thing that I heard when I at School of Thought I was at. Any of us can be replaced. They used to always put that in our heads. Any of you can be replaced. So if you don't want to do your duty, the Most High will find somebody who wants to. And they didn't say that in a way of being rude, like trying to talk down to anybody. It's just that's what it is. Yes, the work is plenty, but the labor's a few. But just like we see with Gideon, the Most High said, send someone back anyway, because they ain't gonna do nothing. So if they're not gonna do nothing, just remove them, so they're not sitting there taking credit for something that they're not doing anyway. So just saying this, that sometimes and you can hear it in Zakane's voice. You know what I'm saying? But because he comes from leading troops. You know what I'm saying? He saved lives. He had to get people through war. So now when he's taking what the Most High has given him, he's now trying to bring it over to help us, which is the best Army, Marine, whatever. We of the best services that we can possibly have as soldiers of the Most High. But we have to have the same excellency that he was trained with in the military, that Sar Yohanan and others were trained with being in the military, of there's a way things has to be done, and we're not taking offense to when correction is being brought forth when we're slacking on our duties, all right? So I just want to start off by saying, first and foremost, I apologize because I do believe some of y'all are not clear on the process. And I will even say for Shalom on Uziel, more so specifically, you've not been on as many meetings as others. So I know there will be even more less clarity for you two, and we get you brought up to speed on some things. But I will speak in-house directly for someone that's been in more meetings or been told things and should by now understand things, because you've been specifically asked the task to do something verbatim, and that's Yosef and Kanakia. We've asked for us to find out what's in the storage, go get a count. And this is now, as he said, we done went quarter after quarter and it's not been done, And like I said, if we're too busy, that's one thing. But I'm to the point now where I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Ain't nobody that busy that by now. All these many months, no one has still went by. It's no more space for no excuse. Well, I didn't have a key. What if you don't have the key? You got to ask somebody with the key to give you a key. You have to take that initiative. If someone gives a duty and say, do this, and you don't have a key, oh, well, I ain't got a key to get in the storage. Then ask them, who has the key? I got to do my duty. I want to go over there by this date. I'm going to go over there. I need the key. Can I get the key? Who has the key? Get the key and go and do it. Because men of the Most High, it doesn't need to be that you tell people every single thing to do. Some of it means take initiative. Initiative is, okay, I'm told to do this, so I'm going to go ahead and set the day. I don't need somebody to tell me go do it on this day. Here's the key, or come get the key from me, or go get the key from Abadal, or go get the key from wherever. You know what I'm saying? Look, break the lock and put a new lock on it, whatever. Ask for the unit, what's the unit, and go in and get the inventory count. Simple. I can almost tell you right now what's in there, what's out of place, where it's located, what's been moved and moved around. You know why? Because I've been over there several times already. For different feasts, for the school drive, for all these things. I went and got the tables. Take the tables back. Some of the tables not back right now because some of them still in my garage right now where I didn't take some of them back. But the point is, y'all won't even know that because you never went to do the inventory check. You don't know how many chairs are in there. I know how many chairs are in there, but I did that on purpose. Honestly, I just want to see if y'all would take the initiative to go do something. For real. I just want to know if y'all would take the initiative to go do something. I loaded the storage up. I know it's in there. But now there has been people that have been in there. Imams have been in there. Sisters have been in there getting stuff, taking stuff. So now some of the supplies for cooking and stuff is missing. And now because there's no form that if y'all would go in, what you would do. Now this is training point because you may not know. So I'm just putting this out there. When you're given a duty or a role, yes, everything's not in order. But when you get a role or a duty, you're supposed to make your office as best you possibly can. So if you go do an inventory, you don't just do a count, try to keep it in your head. You write something down and get an itemized list. We have this, we have that, we have this minute of this, and then get to the point where now if anyone goes to the storage, can y'all let me know who's going? Because you need to sign things out so we can keep accurate count of what's going on in the storage. Because there's now some supplies that is missing as far as with what we take out the feast days, that no one knows where some of the cooking supplies are at, such as racks and burners that we normally use for that. Because through the process of going and people going in and getting things, someone doesn't now know where certain things are. But the point I'm making is, y'all were told months ago to do that. Months ago, almost like a year ago now, really, to do that. And so these are the things that, that with the supply, and again, I want to take the blame, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe you're not clear on it, but I'm saying tonight, that if you're not clear on what the office is that you're a part of and what all duties you're supposed to do, then let that be known. And so we can now try to say, here's what your office entails. Here's what needs to be done. On supply clearly. Anytime we have Moedim, anytime we have feast days, there's things that we have to get on site and get back off site. There's, Zakan Yaakov was saying, as far as with groceries and stuff, the sisters that went and they got a whole bunch of food and stuff for Sukkot, but a lot of that stuff should go through supply also. Supply needs to at least be in contact with them to say, hey, we need to know what y'all get. Therefore, whenever we're doing these reports for feast days, we would know every Sukkot, we had this number of people, this is the amount of food that they brought this year, how much we need next year. Supply supposed to be in on all that. For setting up, supply, whatever supplies we need to do certain things, that's what we take care of. So if we're going to be doing some off-site, you need to, just like what Shlomo tries to do and what Yamin tries to do, and they're out of town. They be trying to pull stuff up online so they can look at it, or they at least ask us for, or try to come in early just to do a walkthrough to try to see how to do their duty. But to be right here local and still have not went by storage, That's really ridiculous. It's really unacceptable is what it is. It's unacceptable. And so, again, the reason why we're doing this now, because the Most High has given us forgiveness year after year, but it's now to the point that we all, myself included, we have to start being C and D students and start being A-class soldiers for the Most High. We have to do better. There's times when there's things going on, the women is doing way more than brothers, and it is a shame to sit and watch brothers sit still while the sisters doing everything. It's embarrassing, just being honest. Embarrassing. And won't call it all the way out, but y'all get a vivid visual in your mind. So here's a visual in your mind. During the school drive, there's going to be supplies, and it'll be the first of all the supplies that we're going to give out for the school jam has to get there. Those things are going to have to be loaded up. Yes, I appreciate that we did come and we try to come help and get some of the stuff down there, right? Get some of the stuff on site. But now to setting up the tents and things like that, I came and seen Josiah and Nathan trying to put the thing together, and an adult sitting there, an adult male, not even helping the boys. We have to do better. We always want the women to be able to submit and follow men as the leaders, when a lot of times those that are in position ain't doing nothing. And I have to do better with my duty also, but as I can, Yaakov, and I'm not throwing the blame anywhere, but for a duty to be, it's my fault too, because I do things sometimes, and instead of saying things, that's what I have to learn to do. Start speaking and saying something, but I won't say, I'll just do. And that's part of the problem also, because what I should have been doing was saying, hey, why you ain't take care of this? Come on, handle this. But going forward, it's not really my place to have to say that, because whoever the captain is over things, it would go from Zakane giving the commands out to the departments. Then the departments do whatever, and then y'all now see who y'all have to deal with. And then when Zakane bring complaints back to me, then I'm gonna have to be the one to start saying, here's the orders we're gonna have to start issuing. So I'm just saying, this is not a come down session, but when things get built up, just like there's times, like when we give specific commands, sometimes at feast days or more than, yes, we want a fellowship. Yes, we want to see the brothers, and it's good to see the crowd there, but we have to function. So we have those unity Shabbats and things with all those gathering. It's not the time for us to be shalom and sitting there in the conversation. Yeah, y'all seen that? That's not the time for that. When we pray out, we know we have to eat, we have all these people there, the supply crew have to get them tables set up, have to get them chairs in place. Not holding conversation, and it means I can't Yaquab still setting the tables and chairs up. We don't mind helping because we all gonna help. We all a service, and we all gonna help. But at least the supply crew's supposed to already be on it. Oh, they get to the point where they're starting to do praying out. We might as well go and start getting close to the door. Or if I'm doing a part of service, I know that right after we pray out, boom, I got to get to moving and trying to get some troops rounded up. Hey, can y'all help us with these tables real quick? While other brothers that's not even a part of the supply crew, when they're there, hey, can y'all give us a hand right quick? We get the fellowship in just a minute. We need to get this room set up now so we can get the Yaladim and Nashim over to the other room eating. We got to get this room set up. That's supply. We have to have the supplies in place. When we break down, the supplies have to be loaded up, have to be cleaned up. And so, again, I'm taking the blame because I don't believe a lot of you had clarity. But there's some that I do know have at least some clarity. You may not fully understand the whole duty and how to do reports, and that would be something that Zakane could teach you. So that part you might understand. But you did understand, go check that storage. You do understand every Shabbat, every Unity Shabbat, and every feast day, we got to set these tables up, put these things down. Don't just stand around, wait for somebody to give a command. If you supply, do it, set it up. Ask when. What's the date to this? Okay, what time can we be there? What's the earliest we can get there? Do we have access to get in? Because we want to get there this time. Can you check with the guy to see if we can get there this time so we can go and do our portion? And if it's a nay, then what time can we get there? But it's showing up, shalom, shalom. We showing up shalom and everything's already done. And then people want to know, oh, we're going to have a word tonight. And we too tired because we had to do everything because someone wasn't there to help. So being a servant of the Most High is also a sacrifice. And as Zakane Yaquab said, even he and I, our communication has to get tighter. That's why I just told him we'll start carving out a time each week instead of trying to get together and wait for monthly times to come together. Have a weekly meet. Me, him, and the sardine to get ahead of some of the stuff that we get into now and addressing the stuff immediately. So, brothers, we're not coming down. We're just trying to say we truly do need your help, and we truly appreciate you. We appreciate the brotherhood. So the brotherhood is always going to be the same. And so, if the way we may start coming with this, and you don't really want to be an officer, you just want to be a member, then that's cool, and it can be what it is, and we still going to love you the same. The love is never going to change. But what we want you to understand is, as a soldier, the way we would speak to each other is a little bit different when it comes to duty, when it comes to service, and not doing it and being on duty and having to be called for doing duty wrong or not being effective. Because all this stuff represents the Most High. When these people come say, oh, there was a great feast and things like that, we want to get better and better with the feast. And praise the Most High that everyone always enjoys themselves, but at the same token, the feast can be much better, and everything we can do can be much better because we're supposed to represent the Most High. So as I can say, this meeting is open for everyone to express or to ask questions. And I know some of you weren't always in all meetings, didn't know about all meetings. So that's understood. But like going forward, and captains also, if you're not clear on what's wanted, then ask I came for them to give the explanation. So I can't give them some examples of reports on what reports, and just give them a starter kit on, here's what I need from you, all of these reports. And after that is given, Mr. Makai, it's really no more excuse after that. And as I can say, and it's no harm, no foul. If things can't be done, if you don't want to do it now, you can say so, and we can go and remove from office, and it's fine. It's still, like I say, it's gonna be love. But if you are going to say you're going to do it, and there's no progress going forward, there's no need to be recognized as an officer, because right now, as we see, there's starting to be more and more people that are starting to come into the Knesset. And one reason why the Knesset will not always blossom and have the fruit that will come in as far as the people, because we're not operating properly. Until we start operating properly, the Most High is not going to really send more, because send them to what? Send them to a place that's out of order. And if there's already confusion in the ranking structure, if there's already confusion in offices, then when an influx of people comes, it's just going to be more confusion. So we, at least with our small crew, while we're small, we have to get things in order so that when the increase comes, the offices are operating. So when we add other people to offices, you know what I'm saying, things will run a whole lot smoother. And then the thing about it, there had to be something that had to do dual office. Pretty much, Sar Yohanan and Zaken Yaakov, they do dual offices. They're going in between their offices because they pretty much do a lot right now. So I really didn't have anything. You know, this is Zaken's meeting, but I just want to be on to be in to hear this meeting tonight and to try to encourage that we all need to do better. If I'm slipping, y'all let me know I'm slipping. If there's something y'all need from me that I'm not giving you that you need, please let me know so that I'm not missing the mark and not dropping the ball. And if you have an issue with and that was something Don Uziel brought up on one of the meetings about being clear on structure, being clear on leadership. So if there's not clarity, that's one of the things that we want to set with clarity. And at Sukkot, there will be some time that brothers will spend together, because face-to-face is always better, to talk about these things and what's expected and the reason we're putting these things in place. So with that, I'm going to yield at this time to anything else that you have, Zaken, or anything that I can have. But again, man, we appreciate each and every one of you. You know what I'm saying? But we all, not just any one of you, we all can do better and need to do better, because we're representatives of the Most High. And I just want our Knesset to be the best Knesset possible. And the thing about it is, we're supposed to already be functioning on this end well, so that what the remnant had going on there, they could already walk right in and see how it's done, and then they just apply it on their end. So that was part of the goal of things functioning here, so that it will be able to help them be able to get their things functioning, because we will already be functioning. But when we right here locally not functioning properly, how can we help someone else function properly? And then it needs to be so to the point where when we function and we come together for large events, whatever departments and who's ever part of whatever department, y'all get together, y'all work it out. Make it happen. If we go to VA, then everybody get on board and help the VA crew. When you come to North Carolina, you help the North Carolina crew. If we go to some place that ain't none of our states, and we just someplace in a hotel room, but we're hosting something, the duties don't change. The units come together and make it happen. So with that, I'm going to yield at this time. If y'all have any questions for us, brothers, bring it out. But I yield the meeting back to Zaken Yaakov.
And Toda, More, Toda. And I'm echoing you too. There's things I take responsibility for, and things that I see that my office can do a whole lot better too. I'm gonna take this opportunity to kind of go back through. I'm gonna share screen here for a second. Give me just a second. And then I open the floor for questions or comments or suggestions or anything. Can y'all see my screen? I know it's small right now, but I'm gonna pull this up first. Let me know if y'all can see it.
Canada, your screen's up.
All right. Let's see if I can enlarge that a little bit. Okay. We'll just have to go like this. All right. All right. What does that say? Dismiss that. Can y'all see that?
Canada.
All right. So this is our organization. This is our organization. Morey Samak, we know, is the head of True Light Ba'ath Yah. No doubt about it. Should be no confusion there, right? And then there was a spot for Cole Morey, but we kind of changed that and put second in command or chief second, which was myself and Elder Abadal. And then we got the offices. Administrative captain is myself. Logistics captain is Sar Yohanan, and the supply captain is Elder Abadal. Right? And then the officers, y'all already been appointed to your officers, not Uziel and Shashamar. They haven't been appointed to office here at True Light. That's forthcoming. That will probably be finalized by next quarter. All right. If y'all are still wanting to be part of it. And then in these particular offices, the admin office is the treasurer. Manpower, keep records of who we have and the numbers on hand. Then the public affairs when we get to that, and then also the training. That falls under the admin. And then logistics is any type of transportation, any type of lodging, any type of storage, and then security fell in under logistics. We still are debating, I won't say debate, but we're considering making security its own office, but for now it falls under logistics office. And the logistics, the security captain is Adon Yamin, and then his chief second under security was Shlomo. Adon Shlomo. And then of course when we go on site, when we're out in the field at locations, then we try and draw from the Gabarine, the Anashim that are available to help support them in the security. All right. And then in supply, like I said, is Elder Abadal, and their responsibilities is buildings and grounds. Materiel, which means anything we need for what purpose we're doing. So like for these Moedim, tables, cooking supplies, whatever perishables that we need, they handle that. And then acquisitions is anything that the Knesset, anything True Light Ba'ath Yah needs to acquire. Anything we need to acquire, like now we're looking for like a trailer to transport all our stuff. Instead of having to rent one or borrow one from somebody else, we're looking for a trailer, a covered trailer. All right. That's our chain of command right now. That's our chain of command right now. And then any office can support the other office. At times, we're all going to have to support another office, right? That's in your duties and responsibilities. Let me close this. And then we'll go through the duties and responsibilities. It's got draft on there, but it's no longer a draft. I'll take that watermark off here soon. Right? And I'm not going to go through it all. Each captain has a copy of this. Each captain has a copy of this. This is just a reminder. You know, we've been set out on purpose. We've been set out on duties and responsibilities. We've been set out on the functionality of your office, right? And these are just the particulars. Acquisition, it tells you what acquisitions are, and that's not every acquisition. That's just an example of the types of acquisitions. And these are still appropriate for now. Supply should be looking for a place to where we can have our own building, right? For Knesset. And we've already, we've already kind of drawn in the land up in Virginia. That's being worked. And then buildings, I'm talking brick and mortar, but those are just initials. Those are just to get the office rolling down the road, so to speak. And like I said, consumables, things that need to be replenished over time. Then technology, multimedia equipment like computers, speakers, you name it, in technology that falls under supply. If we need to acquire it, if we have it, it needs to be cataloged. If it's functioning, we need to know that. If it needs to be repaired, we need to know that. And then educational, like sometimes we'll get books on gardening, we'll get books on expeditionary type skills, we'll get books on first aid. We might need books on leadership, all of that falls under supply. Audiovisual, and then when we expeditionary, when we go into the field, these are the things that supply is responsible. Any shelters, that's common. Everybody, we go to Sukkot, everybody brings their own tents and all of that, but there's common material that we might need, like the tents, the cabanas, lighting, cooking, sanitation, mobile electric power, the generators, and then humanitarian. These are things that we're working toward, is humanitarian. We already had one event, the school drive, right? The school supply drive. That was a humanitarian type issue. But if let's say there's a natural disaster somewhere and we have the means to send food, water, clothing, stuff like that, that falls under supply. Somebody in the Knesset needs like they got them an apartment, but they might need a bed, they might need pots and pans, dishes. Those are humanitarian type stuff that we should be able to help them with. And we got to move towards that. But all this stuff is initial. All this stuff is initial. Initiative says, well, I need this, I need that, I need this, I need that. And if it costs money, then we got to go to admin, who goes to Moray and say, Moray, this office needs this amount of money, needs this type of allocation. This is what they're going for. And he makes a decision. Well, no, they don't need that right now. Oh, okay, yeah, let's make sure they get it. That's how it functions. That's for supply. And like I said, every captain has these initial duties and responsibilities. This is the admin office. Logistics office, right? You can see the purpose. I'm not going to read through all of that, but these are the types of things: accounting, receivables, shipping things out. Like if we want to send some humanitarian supplies, water, canned foods, blankets and stuff like that, that falls under logistics, to get that stuff shipped up and weighed up and sent out to where that natural disaster happened. We can send that stuff to them. That's logistics. Legal, like whatever contracts we have. Let's say we had a contract subscription to Zoom. Zoom is a subscription. Logistics should know that. How much money are we paying to make sure we got Zoom when we need it? How much money? Things like that. The contracts, the guarantees, the warranties, the permits, and the certificates. All of that is logistics, which of course admin is going to have a copy of all of that, but it generates from logistics. And logistics should keep a copy of that also. And all the reports from each office, y'all got to keep a copy, and admin keeps it as a historical record. That so when I'm old and gone, whoever steps into my place will know where all this historical information is, so they don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. Storage. Now we know supply is handling storage, but logistics is responsible for acquiring the storage locker or the storage trailer, or stuff like that. That's what logistics falls under. The inventory, the location, access, lodging and transportation, reservations. When we move as a unit, or we send a couple to a seminar, or visiting another Knesset, visiting the sick and shut in, or visiting those that are in prison, logistics handles all that transportation part and the reservations that need to be done. And then, of course, I said, like, security falls under logistics right now. Training. And you'll see a lot of all the offices are doing training. You got to train your members, Somebody got their mic open? I can't see. I hear something.
Oh, that's me. Speak. I thought my own still muted. I can't speak up.
Oh, okay. And then training, and this really is what I was talking about for security, where y'all were supposed to put some classes together, like first aid classes, weapons handling classes, personal security classes, and stuff like that. And it needs to be kept on file, so if you're not there, they can just go to the resource, pull that lesson out, and teach that lesson from your lesson guide, where you don't have to be there, or anybody can go and say, okay, I want to see, and have access to those lessons. Those have to be in lesson format. And if y'all don't know that, I know I've said it before several times. If you don't know how to put a class together on paper, or if you don't know how to use a spreadsheet for inventory, let me know and I can show you how to do it. Nobody's contacted me yet. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Those are the types of things. Those are initial types of things for the logistics office. For the logistics office, And if you just take care of it on your own and you don't leave a record, it's self-defeating, because once you're gone or you're not available, nobody else has access to it. We'll have to reinvent the wheel and do all that over again. And this is the duty of my office, the administration office. Y'all can read the purpose, but we're the finance and accounting. We keep the records for that. Accounts payable, like I said, if we got subscriptions somewhere, or if we pay rent somewhere, those types of things. Legal, we do the bylaws, we do the counseling, records keeping, stuff like that. Dates of birth, dates of death, members to our Knesset. And I have all of that stuff. Most of this stuff you're looking at is already in record. Training, web presence, classrooms, and then public affairs. We haven't had to deal with that too much yet. But if we're on site somewhere and the media comes up, how do we handle that? Who handles that? That falls under admin. Communications, like if we want to put a message out, like a community event, we want to send it out to the news outlets, that falls under admin. And then personnel, all rosters, phone rosters, address rosters, members rosters, other Knessets rosters, and all of that falls under admin. And we keep it as a historical record. And like I told y'all in a couple of meetings before, I would suggest that y'all get a thumb drive, and I suggest that you get a little pocket brain. We call it pocket brains, a little notebook that can fit in your pocket, and you can jot these notes down, and that way you can go back and refer to them. We're not always going to have the luxury of internet. We're not always going to have the luxury of telephone, so things need to be on paper. Things need to be on paper and kept. And I got spreadsheets of members, their names, their addresses, their children, their Ish or Isha, their dates of birth, immersions, and all of that. But it's personal information, so I'm not going to put it out here. I'm not going to open it up. There's personal protected information on those spreadsheets, but it's in a spreadsheet, you know. So if Morey asked me, hey, what's such and such address? I can go to that spreadsheet and say, here's the address and the phone number and the email address. You know, eventually it's going to be my wishes. I'd say, well, not wishes, but my thought, my plan. What I see happening is eventually we'll have a server type setup where everybody that has permission can access all this information that we hold historically. And eventually it's all going to be in a when we get another building of our own, all of this stuff will be cataloged, filed in a filing system, and hard copy in a protected filing cabinet. All of this stuff, the reports you all make, the reports that admin makes, news articles, historical events, all that type of stuff needs to be cataloged, captured, and preserved. And that's where we're trying to get to. But if we can't get past these initial ones, it's going to be almost impossible to do that. It's going to be almost impossible to do that. And I think I showed y'all, let me stop share real quick. And I think last time I gave a class on how y'all can drop information into Google Docs. If y'all don't remember, go back through Telegram, those recorded meetings that we've had. And if you still got questions, ask me. But you know, just about everybody on here, well, at least your captains. I know all the captains. I shared a Google Docs folder where they can go in and drop information into that Google Docs platform. And that way I got access to it. Morey Samak has access to it. Whoever needs access to it, I gave permission for them to go into those files and go into that folder and pull files out, or look at files or print files off, stuff like that. All right. And of course, again, there's all kinds of information on our website. Matter of fact, let me show you one more. See if I can get to it from here. Can y'all see my screen?
Canada.
All right. I got a lot of pages open up, right? And so it's going a little bit slow, but I'm almost done. And then we'll open the floor for questions, comments, suggestions. All right, y'all know this is our website. This is True Light Bias, y'all website, right? If we go to the calendar, you see we got proposed Moedim, and then any event that's going on, like today, you see that all officers meeting. That's out there. That's been out there since, let me see if I got it for next month too. I mean, well, I don't know if I got it all the way out to December. I think I do though. I think I put all the meetings out. Our last quarterly meeting is the last committee in December. You see, Kagsukot is all on there. And in December, I don't know if we're gonna. Well, Hanukkah is on there for an observance, but the last committee, I'm gonna have to add that. I didn't do it. The last committee in December is our next quarterly meeting, so I'll make sure that's on the website. And then, of course, you got lessons, videos, all of that. There's a whole bunch of information on the website, you know. So if you're confused on when the next meeting is, or any, not just our officers meet, but anything going on as far as the Knesset is concerned, check out the calendar. But like I said, most of the time we give y'all this information in advance. You just need to write it down, put it in a calendar, put it in your pocket brain, whatever. You know, go back and review the videos. This is being recorded right now. So in a couple of days, Saria Hannah will have it in Telegram in our group. You can go back and review it. That's all I have. And like I said, Maurice Smock said something very significant that I overlooked also is maybe you don't know. Maybe we expect you to know and you really don't know. So I'll start focusing my attention and my efforts on training, you know, how to do spreadsheets, you know, how to outline a lesson and things like that. All right. And that's all I have. If Maurice Samak doesn't have anything else, or Saria Hannon, you don't have anything else, I'm gonna open the floor for any questions or comments or suggestions.
I want to make one more statement. Like I said, Sukkot, we'll talk more in detail. But I know one little thing that has a little confusion. Sometimes we fellowship with a lot of people, and there's different sarim or captains and officers at different locations. And we do respect everyone's position just because if they've been appointed someplace else, we still respect the position. However, when we're the ones hosting things, if it's True Light and the Remnant, when we're hosting things like, and when we move as a unit. So, you know, we need to know what our command says. You know, just like the Air Force is not taking command from the Navy. You know what I'm saying? So they still come together. And there's officers in the Navy, captains in the Navy, but you know, Navy is Navy, Air Force is Air Force. So when we come together, you know, with others, you know what I'm saying, just understand that, you know, if we want to know how something is done, you always go to your uplink of our branch to get that. And that's why right now, such as Star Yosef and Star Yohanan for VA in North Carolina is the Sarim that we have. You know what I'm saying? So when we're together, you know, then y'all know those Sarim. Of course, you know, Zaken Yaakov also, he's a Sarim as well. But, you know, by him being Zaken, we say Zaken. You know, and so, but known as just who we call Sar, you know, is Sar Yosef and Sar Yohanan. You know, when we out there, but y'all still know who to go to. So, you know, the hands-on one that's in the know would definitely be Sar Yohanan, because he's the one that puts things together, and him and Zaken Yaquab, they always link up and work things out. So if you need to know your duties and things like that, because Sar Yohanan is the one that really reaches out to Sar Yosef to let him know things is going on as well. But just so y'all know that our unit, so even if there's other people amongst us, we still are the ones that's responsible for how we move when we're together as well as when we're separate. You know, so just so, and like I said, we go into that because there's a little confusion there still, and some things that we have to get worked out and ironed out to find out exactly how things will operate. But just to put that out there for the time being, and then we explain more things as we go forward. And like as Zaken said, and reiterating on what I said before, if there's something y'all don't know, please ask so we can train. You know what I'm saying? So we can all be on the same page. And like I said, we're not trying to come down on anybody. It's just when you've been in the military as he has, and you know, at some point for military men and others that think a certain way, things start getting irritating. But then we have to take blame also because, like I said, you probably just don't know. You know what I'm saying? But then again, like again, I'm not still leaving that all the way that you don't know. Some of you still should know. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple a little initiative. So I really like to encourage that. And before getting off, I would like to know if anybody wants to be removed from office tonight. That's something I would want to know. But I know we're gonna open the floor, but I would like to know that tonight. Does everyone still want to be in office? And if you have any questions about your office, please ask. I know I can't just put the form up, but I really would like for us to spend some time at Sukkot together as Akim to get that closeness and the cohesiveness as a unit that we need. So I'm going to yield. But if there's anyone on the call right now that wants to be removed from office, and like Zaken said, we know that there's some that has not been put. They are officers, but they like, you know, what's this? I haven't even heard none of this because they have not been placed directly in a specific office or a specific duty. So therefore, a lot didn't really apply to them because I didn't know what I was doing. I know I'm an officer. I've been called an officer, but I have not been given my duty, my officer, who is the captain I'm under, or who is the chief officer that I'm under or anything like that. So I yield at this time, but still, if there's anyone that's on, whether you already have been appointed to a certain duty or not, if you don't want to be in a position of an officer or in a leadership structure of those that labors for the Most High, then let that be known too. Just so we have clarity on that, and going forward. And also, one thing I would like to say also, and these meetings and things that officers get into, one thing we have to do also, just be a little bit more mindful. If you watch movies, for those who haven't been in the military, right? Because military men already know this, but for those who haven't been in the military, for those who haven't been into certain walks of life, once you are in an office and you're an officer, there's things that we do and conversation that we have that's not to be held with people outside of office. So just because we're together on Shabbat and there's things that we have going on, a soldier's not going to tell a civilian what their plans are. A soldier's not going to say, "Oh, we're going to strike this place next week, or we sail out tonight." You know what I'm saying? The soldier's not going to release all that information to just civilians. You see what I'm saying? So just be mindful that also while being in office, there's a certain level of discipline you have to have also, because things that we discuss as officers and things we need to get done is supposed to stay within the ranking man. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to go and put that out there real quick as something for us to remind people to go into, and just be mindful of how we talk every time someone comes. When new people come, we don't just open up and give them all the layout of how we do things, because it's not everybody's business. So I'm gonna yield at this point.
Okay, for now, just a second, Adon Uziel. For now, if you still want to be in here, still want to be part of the organization, part of the office, put a thumbs up in the next to your name. Kane, I see you, Adon Shlomo. Yahosef, Toda Arubah. All right. All right. And I didn't see any hands that so everybody's still in. Hallelujah. Toda Arubah Abba. Okay. Is that sufficient, Maurice Samak? You want me to record? You want me to write that down? Nobody backed out, but of course we don't have Abadal and we don't have Marlon on tonight.
Yes, let's talk for what we have tonight, because
Okay.
it'll be recorded on the meeting. It'll be recorded. So just a statement being made that all officers that's on this night's call desire to still be in office. Okay. Notated.
Okay. Uziel, I'm gonna bypass you right now. Shlomo had his hand up first.
I don't think I did, Zokane. I
Yeah,
was going.
before I went into the duties and responsibilities, and before Maurice Samat, yeah, you had your hand up. So I want to come back to you. I said I'd come back to you, but if you don't have anything, we'll go to Uziel.
I was just going to ask for more clarification, but I guess me and Maurice Samat, we're going to talk about it a little bit more Sukkot, and that was a little bit more clarification too. What I did want to say is may have been a confusion here and there, but I definitely dropped the ball on my part of not making all the meetings that I could have for whatever reason. So I do want to apologize and repent from that. And I'm definitely dedicated to this. I definitely want to do everything I can do for the Most High and for the group. So definitely still in Ayel Toda.
Okay, Toda Arubah, Toda Arubah. Adon Uziel.
Okay, Shalom Akeem. I think my biggest thing was, and me and Maurice and I talked about this, was being in the midst of two separate groups. And like everybody has put out, Maurice and Mike, you, Zokan Yaquab, I was unclear, and now I'm understanding the full scope of things. But where I'm at, I'm just trying to discern, where. And that's been a huge thing for me. I still want to be a part of leadership. But like Maurice Samad said, I understand the role as far as if it is the Most High's will for me to have my hand, I guess, to help in both areas. There's certain things that is discussed on this side of the house does not get discussed on that side of the house. So I'm very well aware of that. But that was one of the biggest things for me. Just trying to see where the Most High is leading me to go, and also the fact that, as Maurice Samad has put out, I really didn't have a role, but everything else was told was okay. Hallelujah.
Okay, Toda Rabah, hallelujah. Myself, Sar Yosef, and Sar Yohanan, we're gonna get together, and I sent a lot of this stuff to Sar Yosef to try and what he was doing was fashioning those documents that I showed y'all tonight to match Remnant. So I don't know the situation right now. So myself and Sar Yohanan will get with Sar Yosef, and we'll hammer out and make clear where you and Adon Shashamar fit in. That's why I said by next quarter, we'll definitely have we'll know clearly where you and Shashamar will fit in, either in our organization. And I don't want to put it like we're separate, but we are two different Knessets, but we're together. You understand what I'm saying? Just like any military base, we all fall under the Department of the Defense, right? But each base has different protocols and different responsibilities. So that's what we're going to hammer out, myself, Sar Yohanan, and Sar Yosef, and then we'll know exactly where y'all are going to fit in. Kane?
Kane's okay. I'm glad you clarified that, because I didn't know. I kind of figured it was kind of trying to be set up like that, but I know, things was looking a little smoky. But hallelujah for that, because I definitely was unclear. Okay.
Toda. Yamin, floor is yours.
All right, shalom everyone. So I'm the same with I guess with Shlomo as far as meetings and doing better at going to the website and looking at these meetings and making that proper effort to be there. And the only thing that I have is as far as security goes, as far as, I mean, if you guys know me, whatever it's said to be done, that's what I expect to be done. Yeah, to me, people keep saying, "Oh, they're civilians, so on and so forth." I mean, I was a civilian once, and then I joined the military. And I'm still a civilian right now, so but I still have that military mindset. And everyone should have that military mindset. When the Most High said move and jump, you're not gonna say, "Oh, but what?" No, you're gonna move and jump without asking twice or talking back. So as far as that goes, it kind of killed my spirit a little bit when when you're out here doing your job as security and you're telling grown people, hey, be up and make sure you're watchful so we don't get attacked or nothing come up on us, and people are laughing at it or sleeping at it or not want to wake up and do their part. That kind of sucked the life out of it. Like, I mean, and there's nothing to hold accountable for. So it's like that kind of, I don't put me to a point where, I mean, then why am I doing this? I just want to be a member now, since we could sleep on security posts and all that good stuff, So, yeah, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So, I don't. Like I said, I am going to stay in the security role, but definitely need to work on people who said they're doing this. They're not doing this. Come out here and say, "Hey, have a good time," and this, and this, and that. That's not how it works. We're gonna have a good time, but we also need to provide security for everybody else. That's just how it works. But you're security when you're 20 or when you're in the 20 and up. That's how it works. You sometimes some days you get to enjoy it, and some days you're on duty. It doesn't matter. The person who watched for the moon, they're always on duty. They don't. So that's all I have. I'm rambling, but that's all I have as far as security.
Okay, Toda. And we're gonna work that out. We're gonna work that out. It's all a growing process.
Yeah, let me say something on that too. Yeah, I mean, so I understand what you were saying. So I was breaking it down from the actual worldly perspective of civilian and soldier, right? The actual like the military is not going to tell me nothing about nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't know the procedures. So I was using that on the call tonight to try to get men that has never been in the military to understand that if y'all are a soldier over here, you have to be serious. You see what I'm saying? Because military men were held up higher standard. I was only using that for an example, but per what you're saying, we come together as a mishpachah, as a family, civilian or not civilian, because when a soldier gives orders to civilians, civilian gets moving, and a soldier can tell you nicely, or a soldier cannot tell you in a mean way, but a soldier gonna make sure it get done. So whenever we're at the feast days and people are doing things, once we get out there and we have that briefing, yeah, men, if you're able bodied, you're going to be given to a duty. Now, the learned men and the ones that's over the department is going to tell you what to do for while we're out here to Sukkot, because able-bodied men going to do their thing. And even if you're a civilian that's called to active duty for Sukkot, because we need the manpower, oh, you got to be serious about that. And if they fall asleep and doing any of that, then we need to address that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's the thing. That's the whole thing. Because what it starts to do is it makes people feel like, why am I doing this? Even me as a Morey, sometimes when you're trying your best to teach and the counseling to give, to put it out, and it's like, okay, well, people just gonna do what they want to do and don't really want to listen, but they say good listen, but never do it. You do kind of get that. You get discouraged. You're like, what are we doing this for? Like I can just teach in my house and just shut down. I only have to have the headache. So I'm with you on that, but I was only using the explanation for those who may not have clarity on like the level of for soldiers highly trained. You know what I'm saying? Highly trained. But yes, like you said, but now that you're now a civilian, you're a civilian now, but you a soldier because you've been a soldier. So you know what a soldier is. And that's just who you are, if you understand what I'm saying. But to someone who's never been in, they're not thinking like what you're thinking. So I'm trying to get their mindset to be able to understand the reason why the frustration is on someone that was a soldier, that's now a civilian, but now is a soldier in the most highest set apart service. So yeah, so I'm definitely with you, young man. I just want to kind of clarify why I even utilize that, because in this walk, in reality, it shouldn't be no different. But the point that I'm making is supply. Like I said, like the supply office, they're the ones that must get it done. But when other brothers is present, oh nah, hey, we need to get these tables set up. Y'all come on. Right now, we need some help with this. But they got to be the ones make sure they got the initiative. They get other people to move, because brothers do stand by. Most people be there, be like, man, what you need me to do? It need to be the supply guys, instead of sitting around laughing and kikiing, saying we need to get these tables set up. I need to roll over there. I need to roll over there. Tables are in the hall. Roll them in here. And so that's what I'm kind of letting them know, that the soldiers is the ones that leads everybody else, and guides, directs, instructs. You know what I'm saying? Because they're being instructed. But yes, every able-bodied man, if you have a security duty, it ain't for you to be going to sleep, and it's not to be laughed at. And that's one thing that we say we addressing this year. If anybody has any issues with anything, then they report it, and we're gonna go and report, and we have conversation with, and as was it you who said, or someone said the other night, something about no accountability. There's no repercussions for something. So we're gonna stop with all that. Like, we're gonna be serious about the Most High's walk going forward. Yes, we're loving. Yes, we can. Yes, we're kind. We want everybody to have a good time. But at the same time, we need that respect there, because that's what happens. You have elders that don't want to be a part of stuff because they're like, oh, there's no discipline here. There's soldiers now that don't want to be a part of stuff because what am I doing this for when the people ain't taking it serious, and it's just like a joke, you know what I'm saying? When I'm really trying to keep them safe and they not taking it serious. So I hear your heart, Adon, but the only reason why I utilized it that way was the literal sense of a military man versus a man that's never been in the military. That's the only reason why I worded it that way for that visual.
Hey, Toda, Maury.
Don Shashamar, floor is yours.
So, can I be heard?
Can.
Yeah. This meeting was beneficial, because I don't know everything. I think this is the first meeting that I've been to, I believe, for the captain's officer. And I was just thinking about, how I could do my duties better. So it's beneficial. I was thinking about how I do the land paperwork, and some minor things that you said, as far as putting on the flash drive, having a printed copy, because the internet's not going to be around forever. So that's something that I was thinking about. Just getting my more organized with how I do take notes down and organize it as far as sending it out. Because I think we had a last meeting, we skipped the last land meeting, but I believe we had one prior to that. So I have to be more organized how I save my information and actually get the information out. Have everything organized. So this meeting was very beneficial. For you.
Hello, yeah. Hello, yeah. Toda Rabah. Toda Rabah. And we're gonna start doing a little bit more in-house training, a little bit more in-house training and focused training specifically for offices, but go back and review those duties. Not you and Adon Uzi yet. We're gonna figure out how to get y'all into the organization. But it's kind of because y'all are between two Knessets, it's not as easy as that. So I don't want to. That's one thing that I learned in the military, and I'm not bragging on the military. I'm not bragging on, but I did get some good training, and I believe the Most High did that on purpose. But one thing I learned is not to task somebody else's Marine. That's one thing we don't do is task somebody else's Marine. So it needs to be clear where y'all are at Remnant, so we can be clear on where y'all fit in here at True Light. And like I said, we're sister Knessets, but we're in two different locations with two different types of responsibilities. I'll put it that way. Two different types of things that need to go on a daily basis because we are in two different places. So that's what we're going to work out, and we'll get that hammered out, and then we'll know exactly where to place both of y'all. So it's coming, and y'all will be clear on what your duty and responsibility is and what office you're at. Anybody got anything else? And like I said, these are recorded. Our quarterly meetings or any officer meeting we have, they're recorded, and Sar Yohanan makes them available in our group, right? And nobody else sees these recordings unless you're in the group. All right. So any questions? Any other questions? Any other comments? Any other suggestions before we close out? All right, going once, going twice. No save rounds or alibis. Y'all, that just means nobody has nothing else. All right, I'm done. I have nothing else. One of y'all, Akim, want to close us out in Tefillah? Morey Samab, you got anything else before we close out?
Just that I need you and Sar Yohanan, if y'all can stay on after we pray out and everybody logs off, if y'all can stay on just for a moment.
Okay. Sar Yohanan, you got anything before we close out?
Low as I can, everything was well said. I'll be getting that recording out tomorrow, and reaching out. It was the toll beating. Shalom, how you?
Hello, yeah. One of y'all can want to close us out, Bakasha?
If I could ask my brother Uziel to pray us out one of them powerful prayers he be doing in the morning. Can he pray us out?
Okay, that's told me over.
Okay, so I was gonna beat you to it, but you was a little swift. Hallelujah. Our hearts and minds clear. Hallelujah. Toda Rabah Yah. Father, we thank you. We bless you and we praise you, Yah. Abi, Father, we thank you for your mercy. We thank you, Abba Yah, for your correction. Though at times, Abba, as men, we don't listen. I don't listen. But Abba Yah, I just thank you for removing scales from our eyes that we may see. Father, we thank you for forgiving us, for affording us the day of atonement, Abba Yah, to get things right with you and one another. Father, we ask that you will continue to forgive our forefathers of their sins and their transgressions, and may you forgive each and every brother on this line and their households, Abba. Father, we thank you for your spirit. We thank you for direction, Abba. We thank you for counsel. And Abba, I just ask that you will continue to soften the hearts of man, Adam, man, that Father, we will receive that which you speak. And Abba, Yah, everything that is false, every way of trickery of the mind that our adversaries, Abba, Yah, will try to infiltrate and sprinkle seeds, Abba. May you block those things out of our minds. That Father, you will give us sound counsel, that we will only cling to that which is told profitable and righteous. Abba, I ask that you will continue to deal with each and every one of us, even those that are not on this call. Father, may you continue to guard and protect us as we go out, as you have called us to be the hunters and the gatherers, Abba Yah. May we hunt and may we gather your fold, Abba Yah, under the direction and the leadership of our Morim, our elders, the Kohanim, the priests, Abba Yah, as you have called us to be. Father, I just thank you for restoration. I thank you, Abba Yah, that you've given us the opportunity to be one with you and each other. Father, may you bless the work of our hands. May you bless the structure of this council, Abba Yah. And I ask, Father, that you will continue to guide and direct us. May you even increase more men, Abba Yah, mighty men, Gibberim, to continue to do your work, Abba, as we are called to be fishers of men, Father, by the works and the spirit that you've placed within us. May you draw men unto us, Abba, that we will continue to increase, Abba, and build your set-apart nation. Torah Rabbi Yah. Father, I ask that you will continue to bless and keep each household. May you guard us, Abba. As we slumber and sleep, Abba, may you protect us from any wicked spirit. Blessed be the name of Yah. Blessed is he who comes in the name of Yah, and blessed are you, Yah. Hallelujah. Amen.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen wa amen. Torah Rabbi for the tefillah, don't.
Shalom, Akim. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.